What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's
But we
up?
ain't nothing playing. No music. No,
Where's the music, friends?
no
I don't
music.
know. No
Why are we
music.
dancing to no music?
Cause
Now
that's
we look
what
like
we
those
do,
weird
man.
people.
You didn't have to say nothing. We could have just did it and just been us. You just let the world know that we square. We square.
No, they don't get to call us nerds.
I'll take
They
it.
don't get to call us nerds.
Nerds is
But
winning
if you
these
want to
days.
call us
I'll take
nerds,
it.
definitely write it down in the comments.
I'll take it. Well, man, what's up, y'all? It's DieTyeRadio. We back again. We out here live again, man. It's always something going on as usual. So, we just out here doing our thing. First of all, before we get into everything, let me go ahead and let y'all get y'all introductions in with the beautiful ladies.
What's up,
Go
Kadesh?
ahead.
You already know you rocking with the one and only Combat Pretty, and we are here today with DieTyeRadio to make things happen and talk about some crazy shenanigans in the music.
Not the
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans.
Not the
The
shenanigans.
Not the
shenanigans again.
shenanigans.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Mocha Badu.
What is your name? They don't even know your name,
My
man.
name is Mocha. Y'all know me. It's been
But
2
do
years.
they?
Y'all know me by
But do
by
they?
now. They don't really need to, but y'all know
But
my
do
name.
they?
They know my name. That's it.
And obviously, I'm Z Hunter, man. Y'all can follow me at ZHUNNO_, man. We out here. So, before we get into our main topic, really main topic, I want to first check in on y'all, man. What's been going on? Like, what's going on with the
Everything's good. I actually was down. Well, me and you was just going through hurricane week. We literally went through
I don't
hurricane
even know
week.
what that was. That wasn't even a hurricane to me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not no offense to the people that was on the west side, but over here, I was just like, bro, what the heck is this? Like, I was
It
mad.
was a thugger can came through, took my man electricity.
You feel me? For a little minute, and it came right back, and I was like, bro, what this?
We ain't had no internet or cable over here.
I
Cause I
know I
went
had
down.
to.
I'm in Florida too right now. I came down to see
You
my
is,
mom.
Mm.
you is. Shout out, my love, mama
Shout
love.
out to mom.
Okay. What's going on with the music? No music stuff going on.
Yes, I definitely did make something yesterday. I'm gonna send it to you when we get off of here.
You gonna send it to me? All right, all right, all
You
right,
know
all
you,
right.
yeah, because I know you gonna want to hear it.
All right. What about you, Mocha? What you got going on this weekend or this
I,
week?
I
Or
I haven't been doing nothing really too big, too massive. Just hiking, just doing some soul searching.
hiking?
Yeah.
Hiking where? Ain't nothing. Well, I'm not gonna say that. Y'all got a bunch of mountains and stuff over
I'm
there.
about to say Atlanta is one of the best spots to hike in. We got Stone Mountain,
We got
we got
trails, we got Stone Mountain, we
Piedmont
got
Park, we got the Chattahoochee.
Shit. What's that park in Bankhead? Yeah, that park. Hike that shit. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. I
Shoot.
feel that. I feel that. Okay. So you just soul searching what you searching in your soul for? What's wrong with your soul? You
just
trying to figure it out.
just realistically bad I got a lot of trauma that I need to heal and actively take accountability for
Mm.
and be aware of the fact that I have been in survival mode for a very long time and I still choose to be in survival mode when I don't really have to. There are a lot of options that are available to me, but I'm too afraid to actively take those options and try something new. But
Okay.
yeah, a lot of soul searching.
Okay. A lot of soul searching. A lot of soul. As in, what if you had to say an example of like what you things that you looked up and searched on for yourself? What would be one? Like just for people to understand what that means. Because some people soul searching might be different. So like what exactly are
Yeah,
you
because
looking
soul
for?
searching can be vague.
Hmm.
What exactly are you did you
So the way I handle my relationships and how I have a lack of communication severely to the point where I'm so afraid of conflict, I will not communicate with the person that I am having an issue with
Mm.
because of the fact that my trauma has basically showed me that if I try to actively push back or say what I need, people will basically demean my needs and say that their needs are more valuable and I'm supposed to take care of them.
Wow.
And so that basically made me be quiet about my needs and just ghost people and avoid people. However,
I respect that.
I have some people who actively want me to communicate and actively want me to say what I want and what I desire. And it makes me uncomfortable to say what I want because it's almost like subconsciously in my mind, it's telling me you're not going to get what you want. This is an empty promise.
That hurt, love.
Sorry.
My face. That hurt my face. Why you drop me on my face like that?
So sorry. I'm so sorry. And Mocha, I relate to that. I used to be a person too that wouldn't like speak up or whatever. Well, I'm definitely a boisterous person, but I wouldn't speak up to people that I cared about because
Hmm.
I was afraid that my opinion went against their opinion, so it would go against what we all wanted. You know what I mean? And it would make the situation more like, I guess, confrontational. So I can
Hmm.
relate to those situations a lot. What I learned is if I'm not happy, how am I going to be happy for other people around me? And how am I going to cater to the people's needs that can't cater to mine?
Hmm.
So I need things to be even, not necessarily even fair, but even meaning that I only can deal from people that can give and take as well. Because I tend to find that when you're a giver, you attach to so many takers. But I feel like givers should only hang with givers and takers should just be alone.
Hmm.
Because if we all giving, then it's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's nothing to receive when you giving. But it's a
Hmm.
problem when you just a taker and you have nothing to give because eventually you're really a burden to most people.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Mm,
can
I get
I
what
can
you.
feel
I get
that.
it. I
I mean,
get
if
it.
you have nothing to give, you're a burden.
Yeah,
True.
that's very
I will
true.
say. I think if you have too many like of the same people in the same room, you're or in the same like friendship group, that'll definitely be an issue because it's like say like prime example, like you said, having takers. If you put a bunch of takers in the room, there's nobody
Nope,
to
I said
give
takers
them
should be
nothing.
alone. I ain't say
Hmm?
takers should be together. I said only the
Well,
givers should be together.
it's hard to it's hard to be alone on everything because nobody it's hard to do anything alone out here because no one's really done anything alone. Everyone had someone to do something, you feel me? So that's why I was about to get into where I feel like it's a lot of if you're
A
gonna be a
taker is not
taker.
trying to do nothing. It's just trying to get something. We're talking about givers. Now, I said givers should be together. The taker should be alone. The taker, because listen, they ain't trying to give nothing. They ain't trying to help nobody get to nothing. They just trying to look for somebody to get something from. They a freeloader.
Well, that's why I said I can't. That's why I personally couldn't agree with that. Where I would say givers and takers go hand in hand because I can't. If you put two givers in the same room, both of us are giving. No one's taking anything. So we're both selfishly giving. No one's
That's a
bothering to sit here.
blessing. That's a blessing. Both
But
people to
it
be with
is,
someone that has
it
your back,
is,
like you have their back, that's a blessing.
it
Anything,
is.
because you can easily receive when you give, but you can't. What you gonna receive when you keep taking, or what you gonna be able to give if you keep taking? You have nothing to give. Some people are really just takers.
It is. It is a blessing when you have both people who are willing to give as well, but they're willing to take less than they're giving. That's where it is. What the issue is if you both are giving where y'all both are over giving and no one's taking, you have a surplus of everything now. So now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I don't know what next. You're not really paying attention to each other for real. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's why I said selfishly giving, because now you just give, I'm giving you repeatedly trying to make you happy. I'm not even listening to what's making you happy. So you're not
That's
taking
not
anything.
necessarily truthful, because most of the time people that's given to you are actually listening to what's going on.
Not necessarily. No.
Most
You
people
see,
are.
you've had plenty of people, y'all. I would say not even myself. I've heard plenty, even my sister or women around me who I don't know if y'all have a story, but y'all might have a story of a dude who you was messing with who was overly trying too hard. He was overly giving. Like he kept trying to give to you, almost like he was trying to win your affection over to a point where you was like, bro, I'm disgusted by this. Like, stop. Like, okay, well, some people do where they have that where that guy who's overly doing. You saw Mocha just raise her hand, overly doing it to the point where it's like,
I
bro,
think a person that does not listen, I think a person, it depends on affection. Like affection, maybe. But when somebody is giving you gifts and stuff like that, like showering you with things, nah, I don't know. Like, now,
you can
granted,
overdo it.
everybody don't want something from anybody. That's
You can
true.
overdo it.
But
You can
we're gonna put ourselves in normal situations of two healthy people, not two negative people. We already talked about the negative person. The negative person is the taker. So we're
a
putting
giver can
ourselves
be
in a
negative too.
situation of
That's what I'm
two
trying to
healthy
say.
people that are givers. They
A
are better
giver
off
can be
together
negative too.
than a giver and a taker. I'm sorry, every day, no matter what you say.
You can say that
No,
all you
a
want. That's your
giver can
opinion,
be
and that's
It
selfish.
you're up
is,
to
and
your
I would say,
opinion.
I
But
would always choose a giver over a taker
yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
because I'm not a.
We're just speaking from opinions to opinion. Is
Right.
that like I said, a giver, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, a giver can be just as toxic as a taker.
That's very true.
So
Because
it's
it
really up.
depends
That's why I
on
said they have to go hand in hand. If
intent.
someone's giving, someone has to be willing to take what I'm giving. Just like if
Mm-hmm.
that person's giving to me, I got to be willing to take whatever they give.
That's
If
true.
we're both just giving to each other to the point where, like I said, we're not paying attention to what we get actually given, to where you see them type of people where they're in a relationship, either one is either overly, like you said, or
The
one's
taker
overly
don't
taken
even have a
over.
thank you for you. They
Mhm.
just gonna take their shit and roll. But I mean,
Yeah,
by all means, if that's the kind of energy you want, take it.
but see,
Like,
but when you got two givers, you're battling now. You're trying to see who's gonna outdo each other. Okay, I gave you this. Well, I'm gonna give you this. Well, I'm gonna
not
give you this. Well, I'm gonna give you
necessarily.
that. Well, now it's all of a sudden where it's like, okay, to a point where you start realizing one of y'all gonna realize I can't overdo you. So as
Not
long as I can't overdo
necessarily.
you, I've seen it. I've had it
Not
happen to me
necessarily,
before.
because I'm not trying to
That's
outdo somebody by giving to them. I'm just out.
that's your
I'm just
again,
not being stingy.
So
that's your
it's not her
opinion.
opinion, that's her intent. And that's the
Again,
difference.
that's fine. But it's sometimes having over intent can ruin something. Because like I
Mm-hmm.
said, if both of y'all are giving to where neither one of you are paying attention to what's going on, you know you're
I
overdoing
understand what you're saying, but you still should move on to the next giver, not the next taker. But okay, I mean, if that's like I
it. I
said, if
mean,
that's
a
what you
giver is
want
a
from
taker,
someone,
and a
is just to
taker is a
take
giver.
from you.
I take it like this. A taker can learn from a giver and a giver can learn from a taker.
That's what I mean.
If you all you know is giving, and I think my past relationship helped me realize this, that it's okay to take things. It's not, you're not being selfish by taking the things that you need and desire for your own benefit. It's okay. It's natural. You have to take it because if you don't take it, you're not going to get it. You
Mhm.
can't beg and plead for something and then don't take it because you're scared that it's going to be taken away from you. And for the amount of soul searching that I've done for this month, it actively helped me analyze my past relationship and figure out, okay, I need to actively start working on myself and learning to self love myself and actively giving myself the things that I need. Start taking the things I need.
You know what that's called too? That's low key called having conditions.
Yes,
It's called
it is called having conditions.
having conditions for yourself, having
Discernment,
conditions for a
having
relationship, all that.
self-respect, self dignity. I mean, I would
All
never
having
say
conditions.
it's wrong to take things that you need because you need things. What
Hmm.
I would say is wrong is when you already have everything you need and now you have nothing to give to the people that
Hmm.
you took from. You're not paying it forward. You're not keeping the cycle. You're not
Hmm.
helping the cycle.
Well, I'll say this, right, which I agree with you. I agree with you, right? Only problem is that I feel like a lot of people be having a problem that I realize, especially in this generation, we got to understand that we're not giving the same things. I don't need you to give, if I'm giving you X, Y, and Z, I don't need you to give me X, Y, and Z back. I need A. If I'm giving you X, Y, and Z, I need A, B, and C from you. I don't need you to do the same
a
thing that
giver
I'm
is
doing.
simple as this. Here's some water. I gave you water. You can give me thank you. You don't have to give nobody. I'm not asking you just for you buy me jeans, I buy you jeans. We're not talking in small layman context because that's just weird in general.
We're not talking about that.
Everything meets up, meaning that you have to give to get and you have to get to give.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
I'm not talking about that one. Well, I'm not talking about where it's small. It's even in a big or small, it's the same issue in the same bottom of basis of it. One, and then you gotta also understand, I'm not talking about you, love. I'm talking in general. So you gotta understand in general, everybody outside of you, the world around you be doing that.
But the world is give and take, Z, and that's all
that's
I'm
what
saying.
I'm saying to you. That's why I say you can't. That's why I say if you have a give and take relate, someone's gonna have to give, someone's gonna have to take. Both sides gonna have to do both. If you have
right,
both,
but what I'm saying, if something is give and take, it can't be just take. You can't just be the taker and that person's the giver.
I'm not disagreeing with
not
you that you have to have that. What I'm saying is that you have to have both sides. You have to be both. You can't be a over giver and then not take nothing. Like Mocha just said. When she started realizing that she.
Why would I say that? I never said that. I said a giver is a taker.
A giver is a taking it personal. I did not say you.
Everyone is a taker. Everyone is not a giver.
True.
That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it at that because you're making a term that is not. I never said. I said if we're both giving to each other, then we can both receive. But if one person is taking and one person is giving, then no one's receiving. I mean, this is not mutual.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be mutual. There has to be a mutual understanding. That's why I say of having conditions. I never said that you said anything. I'm saying from what we're talking about. Where if we're gonna have one or the other, you gotta have a middle ground. Someone has to be the other. And that's why I was saying, but a lot of times people, like I said, not you, but a lot of people will do the things what we was talking about earlier, where they'll use the whole situation of we gotta be matching on giving and taking. And it's like, well, sometimes you have to understand the give and take are not the same matches. As in, I don't, like I said, if I'm doing X, Y, and Z, I don't need you to do X, Y, and Z because I already got that covered. I need A, B, and C. Okay. So, okay, bet. Let me go do A, B, and C for you so that way you can take care of my X, Y, and Z. But that
makes sense. I mean, now you're talking more of everybody has their place of what they need to put.
That's what I mean. That's what I was getting to.
That doesn't have to do with giving and taking to me. That has to do with more so everybody has their place. But okay,
even having your place, you got to give and take because sometimes you got to understand where you're giving at in the place and where you got to take at in your place. Like, so that's why I say you got to understand your role and where your roles change in the situation of who's giving, who's taking in this situation. You know, like, okay, bam, my girl want to go out tonight, but I don't really feel like it. You know what? I'm gonna give her this night so we can go be out, and then she's gonna take it. So that way, where all of a sudden, when I need something down the line, she gonna remember, you know what, Babe did take me out that night that he didn't feel good. I got him now. I'm gonna give him something so that way he can take it and enjoy what I'm doing. That's what I mean.
That's give and take.
You feel what I'm saying?
But that's her giving to him and him giving to her. Not just people taking. And that's all I'm just saying. What I'm highlighting is situations where people just take. Whereas though it's dude just straight giving the chick, and she's never getting nothing. Or chick is giving the dude. And that's all I'm just highlighting those stories. And I'm not talking about myself because I don't be in those situations. But all right.
Okay. That's on you. But like I said, that's what I mean by when I was talking about earlier with Mocha, where I said there's conditions where now all of a sudden you understand, okay, there's certain things that I need for this situation to work so that way I can give what you need in this situation to work. So, which kind of goes into our little topic, you know, coming into unconditional, that word unconditional love.
But love is not unconditional to me.
I was finna ask the question. Let me get to the question, cuz. Come on now. You be so
I'm just excited.
You gotta let it marinate. We gotta let it marinate. But let's get to the question where obviously, like I said, it's unconditional love is our topic today. So, do you guys believe in? First of all, do you believe in unconditional love? And if you do believe in unconditional love, can you define it? Define it for me.
I do not believe in unconditional love. It does not exist. Everything is conditional. Everything has a condition. Work has a condition. School has a condition. Your mama gave you a condition. Your father gave you a condition. Everybody has a condition of whether they're going, of how they treat you. So everything is conditioned. You can't. It's like love and relationships or marriage, better or worse. You can't coerce the person and expect them to stay for the better. It is a condition.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. What about you,
I,
Mocha?
I believe there's no such thing as unconditional love. That is from my own personal experience. I've never seen it. I always had to go by conditions. There was always something I had to do and give.
Do y'all
And
hear that?
mo- the
Mm-hmm.
static, yeah. But yeah, I don't personally believe in unconditional love. I've never seen it. There's always been some kind of condition that I had to uphold. So, from my own experience, I would say no. And it's almost like unconditional love is like a fairy tale. It doesn't exist.
We having mess ups, bro. I don't know what's going on. But hey, listen. Do I first of all, please send y'all music to us, man. If y'all got any music, man, follow us on DieTyeRadio at DIETYE Radio, man. DieTyeRadio at Gmail, man. Just send us all our stuff, man. We waiting on y'all. Just send it to us. You back?
Yep, I'm back.
All
Is this
right, now you sound so much better.
okay? Good. But to answer your question, unconditional love does not exist to me. It's more like a fairy tale people try to achieve, and I don't quite understand why would you achieve something that doesn't exist. Like, why would you go looking in the forest for a unicorn that you know you ain't gonna find?
Okay. Now you said, if I'm not mistaken, your words were, uh, it's a fairy tale, right? So
Hmm.
why do you think it's a fairy tale of unconditional love? What makes you say that?
The reason why I say that is because of the fact that it's giving people not false hope, but giving people something better to look forward in this realistic world that we have, where there are plenty of issues and people want to strive for perfection, to be accepted for who they are no matter what happens. And that's fine. However, realistically, we as human beings, we evolve. And because of that, you can't ask for somebody to love you unconditionally because they're going to love that one condition of you.
Okay.
You're constantly evolving, you're constantly growing. How can somebody love you when you're constant? How can somebody love you unconditionally with you constantly evolving and growing as a person? Because there are certain things people are not okay with. Certain people have conditions. I mean, not certain people, but everyone has conditions. Everyone has a boundary that they don't feel like is okay.
Okay.
So I just feel like it's something for people to look forward to, something better than the truth that people don't want to accept.
Hmm. Okay. So if you had to pick your conditions towards your love, what would it be? As in, for you to be with someone that you want, that the person you want to be with for the rest of your life, right? What are the conditions that he or she, or whatever, would have to basically fulfill in order to be part of that for you? What would those be?
I want people to see me as the conscious self. I don't want you to I want you to desire my body, but not in the sense of where you're obsessed. I want you to see be attracted with my conscious, because realistically my body will change. It will grow old, it will die. However, if you see me as the conscious and you see me as the entity of that is flowing through this body, I will see you, because that's my condition. I don't really see people in the three-dimensional plane. I see them for their four-dimensional soul, in a sense, if that makes sense. I see your brain working. Want to explain what you're thinking?
I mean, I don't know what the heck is a four-dimensional soul, but I'm gonna let you have that. Um, that sounds very spiritual. That's what I'm hearing, which is fine. I'm not saying nothing wrong with spiritual, nothing. Um, I will say this though, you kind of remember when you said, okay, earlier, unconditional love is a fairy tale. Well, from what you just explained a little bit, it's a little almost fairy tale-ish, almost to a certain degree, where yes, you want people to look at you for your conscience, but you do understand that that's the first thing that a lot of men, if you're talking about being with a man necessarily, or not even just men, people in general, the first thing they look at in order to look at you is your attraction. So they're gonna look at your body and, okay, I'm attracted to your body, so let me talk to you first because I'm attracted to you, and then get to know your mind. So if you understand that, right? I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, because it's both, depending on whoever, if it's the person you like it. If it's a person you don't like, you can't stand it shit. So it's like, it should pick your poison type of thing. But it's really on a situation of, if you understand that, then you can make that move to where you can make it work for you. You feel what I'm saying? To where, okay, bam, okay, I know this person likes me for my attraction. Let me see how far I can make this person really understand me and understand my conditions too, to where I can put you on. DJ Paul.
Sorry.
That snuck me in, huh?
That's totally fine. You came in with a whole
Came in with a whole different energy, huh? I see.
I'm so sorry, yo. My phone was actually me, you guys. My phone died.
Oh.
So I probably was the reason for our static. I apologize.
It's
totally fine.
Things happen.
Yeah, like I said, if you just understand that part, like it'll just use it,
Yeah, I heard you saying something about attraction and stuff like that. And what did I miss, you guys?
Oh, we were talking about I asked the same question I asked you about unconditional.
I knew I was about to say, but I heard you drop some jewels, because I heard you start talking about attractions and reactions.
I'm gonna ask you the same question too, since you said obviously there's no unconditional love, so in your opinion. So I asked her, which I'm gonna ask you now too. What is, if you have conditions, you say there's conditions to love, what are your certain conditions to love for that person that you want to be with? What are some of the conditions that you actually have for him?
Respect. Because I like to think that I would respect the person that I'm with. So I would like to have respect for each other. Maybe some loyalty. Maybe and a basic drive for his goals. Meaning that, like, not saying like, just because you told me you was getting water at 3:00, I'm mad at you because you didn't go get the water. But on some adult shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you said you wanted to start a job that made probably 40K next year instead of making 30K this year. And now next year, you're actually in the process of looking for that job, or you already at this job making, now you done got a raise and you making 35,000. You know what I'm saying? Just those little increments of something, just to see that you really consistent about the shit that come out your mouth, aligns with the person you actually are. That to me is already 5,000. I think love is it's subjective, but it's very well deserving and well rewarding.
I get what you're saying. So let me ask this question: would you be, say, if you was with a dude, right? You said you want someone with drive, right? That wants to do more. What if you end up getting with someone who's okay with where they're at? Is that a problem for you?
It depends on where they're at. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's give scenarios of jobs to say what job I
Let's
probably
say
would
he was
get.
making the average person on this earth, or average man that makes 50K a year, right?
Okay.
So let's say he was making 50, 60K working as a teacher. And he was like, you know what? I like teaching. I don't want to go into being a principal or being a doctorate at a college. I want to teach high school. That's it. I'm not going nowhere else. How would you
Yeah,
address
I
that?
don't think I could argue with that because that man's an educator. Like what he does is so rewarding spiritually. Like at the end of the day, no matter what, like he's needed. So I don't think I could argue with that man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could argue with. I wouldn't argue with the mechanic. I probably wouldn't argue with the plumber. You know what I'm
Okay, what
saying?
about a salesman, like an entry level salesman for
Yeah,
like,
I would argue with him because
you
he's a
would
sell.
argue with him with it?
I will argue with him because he's a salesman. His goal is to sell better things to make. He's a commission based man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would argue with him because he never makes the same amount no matter what.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
But the plumber, I have a different respect for blue collar people because I'm a blue collar person. I was in the military. So for some reason, like whereas though the average woman wouldn't probably even date the plumber or so, I'd be like, shit, look at that plumber.
I'm guessing, Kareem, you meant boundaries. Would you consider boundaries a condition? Yes. Yes, you can consider them conditions. It depends on the boundary though. Because that
Yeah.
like it be depending on like as in
I mean, look, how long them boundaries last? What's the boundary? That's
that's
where
what
I'll
I'm
be
saying.
at.
Like
Like,
it depends on the
please drop a
boundary.
boundary that you don't think could ever be crossed ever. Like, I mean, like, all right, if you're not bisexual, then of course we're not having the threesome one day. Like that's a boundary. Like that could never be crossed. But that's just also something a sexual preference that y'all
Yeah,
should have
that's
been
what I
got
mean.
around.
Yeah, you
So it's
gave me the
like,
perfect example. Yeah, where it's a boundary, where it's something that, but it's not a condition to where you gonna be like, I'm gonna break up with you because you don't want to have threesomes. Like, nah, that's
right.
your choice. You feel me? That's why I'm like, okay, versus a boundary would be like, okay, prime example, someone said, prime example, like right, where someone would say, okay, some women, I'm not in this generation, but a couple of generations before they used to do this, where they'd be like, okay, listen, I know my man's gonna have relations, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna, I'm gonna let you have relations outside of this marriage, but you can't. It better not be no kids, and it better not be no dating. Like as in you can only just mess with this girl and go about your day. If I hear that you dating or you got relations with this girl, where it's almost like
Yeah,
y'all in a
that's serious. That's a
it's
serious thing.
serious now. So now all of a sudden I have
Okay.
a problem with it. So that would be like a boundary or a
Period.
boundary that's a condition at the same time.
Yeah, because that's a
Because
rule. Y'all already created a rule.
you
So now
feel we
y'all have a
created a
rule and you
rule.
broke it. You violated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
You
I think
guilty
that's
for
a situation
violation.
that's why I said a lot with love. Love comes with conditions where I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Like
I damn
when
sure do.
you
Oh,
sit
sorry.
here you come,
I'm
but
sorry.
you sit down and do the you have to. I think people that's the difference between marriage, in my opinion, from the 50s and everything that was. I hate when people use that argument like this ain't 1950s and all that because I'm like, bro, you don't understand marriage back in those days because they sat down and really came down together and said, okay, I'm gonna do like I said earlier, X, Y, and Z, while you do A, B, and C, and then we'll meet. Come if this is something we don't meet on, we'll come to common ground and have a
Z,
discussion.
Z,
And third, yes.
bro, don't
Yes,
even
ma'am.
let them people think that that's what they used to do because we still doing that shit today, man. People
Some
who really
people,
try and get married,
some people.
you know you gonna
Because
come
if
to
you
you,
hear
but
it now these
bro, you know you
days,
coming to your wife correct, bro. I know you my brother, bro. You coming to
I'm
your
not
wife
saying
correct.
me. I'm just talking in general. Because some people, like a
All
lot of
right,
people,
we
you
is.
hear now these days,
But
where
you know that's not our followers.
people,
Our followers doing it right, right? Our followers,
I
no,
hope
I'm just
so, but we trying to help out new people. So it's like, okay, some people will do this where they're prime example, like I said, the cheating situation where a lot of girls were like, nope, or a lot of people, as soon as you hit cheating, nope, can't do it. I don't want to talk to you. I can't hear nothing. I'm
yeah,
done. This and the third, I don't want to hit. And you'll be like,
yeah,
bro, like there's a lot more, like especially depending on the situation, there could be more serious situations coming in where you might have life or death. You might have kids now. Now you in a marriage, you got kids. You willing to ruin your kids future and getting them into statistical situations that they don't need to be in because of your own personal feelings about a situation.
That's
All
true.
right, then now you're gonna have to
I
have that
understand
conversation.
why girls had a cheating issue, only on the strength that a lot of men that be having the cheating thing, it be about having a different vessel. It don't be about even necessarily, because they girl don't even necessarily be satisfied. It just
'Cause I
be
think
them. It be about having a different vessel to fill, and necessarily not necessarily about satisfying.
mhm. So remember that conversation we had a couple weeks ago? Well, it was us not on here, but we had this conversation on the phone. Well, I was trying to tell y'all there was about men and when it come to sex, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
it's like,
no. That's why I brought that one up, bro. That's why I brought that one up.
right. So
Yeah,
when we
that's why
brought
I
that,
brought
we
it
was
up.
talking about that. I was telling we was having a conversation. I was saying, okay, bam, like there's two different ways of how men have sex. Where one is either I'm trying to just get my nut and call it a day versus the girl I really genuinely care and love about, right? Those are two different ways of doing it. One, I'm gonna do all the porn star crap I've always thought of. The other one, I know my move for a fact that's gonna make her go crazy that I'm in love with. I want her to remember that conditioning thing that you was talking about. That's what we want that at. When
Right.
she just strained and can't let you back in no more. Versus this girl, we just trying to destroy her and call it a day.
Right, exactly.
So,
And that's
and
why
I
I was
think
talking, and that's why I use those levels. Like, a lot of them dudes, who do want the more than one body, it ain't about him satisfying her. Whereas though that the other guy is more about him
he's more and
satisfying.
more about satisfying her. So it's like,
Right, he
okay,
care about his
but
woman.
see, and I was trying to get into it. I was trying to tell y'all, like, especially with Kayla, I was
Bro,
trying to
you know
tell
I
you
was listening because I be
you.
riding with these scenarios. I got brothers, so I hear these
I got
scenarios
you.
all the time.
Well, what I was trying to get to Kayla was trying to get Kayla to understand that with so when it comes to sex between the genders, we don't think of it the same. Where y'all fall in love with one person at a time, like y'all will. This is the person I'm with. This is the person I'm with. You might have your little moments where you know your little whole phases and everything. Everybody has it. I think, in my opinion, everybody has whole phase. Like let's be real. But some people stay in it, especially a lot of men. They kind of stay in that little whole phase for a little minute. But like where you just kind of you used to being in that situation where, especially in Kayla's situation, where everybody who she's been with, she was in a relationship with. So she's thinking of it as in, okay, I'm with this person, he loved me, I love him, but we together, oh, we Gucci, we not gonna worry about it. Well, I was like, bro, no, majority of people out here are really just sleeping just to sleep, right? And if we just doing this just to do it, like, bro, there's a difference in it. Because if you don't understand that difference, you're gonna think everyone's just doing the same thing. And it's like, nah, like, no, men don't do that. Like you gotta understand that the sex is not the same. So if sex is not the same for both of us, like obviously the difference in it is very different. Where that's why you hear a lot of people say, a lot of people had an argument now today. Which one is cheating is worse, the woman or the man? And you hear a lot of people, the woman, the man, the woman, the man. In my opinion, I definitely agree with the whole. Like I said, women are more emotional. Y'all like to, if you messing with somebody, y'all close to that person. Y'all not gonna just even somebody random. Y'all pick this person. Versus dudes, he'll go outside and any year and find him a girl and just do whatever with that girl and never talk to her again. Versus for a lot of females, y'all get into a relationship with this person. Y'all gotta connect with this person first before y'all get with all that. So it's like it's different. But she wasn't trying to hear that, especially when she started. We'll talk about it later, but that's the part of it that I feel like a lot of people be messing up on.
I'm laughing at you with the we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it later. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the part that I
You
feel
know
like a
how
lot
we
of people
get.
be missing on. They be missing that on that. Like, as in, you just gotta.
They
It's
do,
not
but
the
you know what?
same.
I feel like this is where the unconditional thing is too, bro. Like it's something you really put me on too, and I swear you saved me. You saved the shit out of me because you said something to me. You said you gotta tell a person they gotta come fuck with you on that level, and it's just super simple like that. And it's like when you realize when women start realizing the level that men need to fuck with them on, and how they need to be coming at them if you even want to get in their bed, a woman to change their whole life and how they move, and they change the dudes they even entertain. Because any dude that's only entertaining like a friendship or trying to be your homie or all that shit, man, you ain't going to entertain him the same. You're going to entertain a man that's literally trying to be the whole in, if that's what you really want as a grown ass woman.
Mm-hmm. I remember that conversation.
Yo, bro, you killed that conversation. You know that was a one-on-one. So
I remember that conversation.
and
Yeah,
I'ma just leave that at that. I'ma just leave that at that. And then we'll talk about that later on a one-on-one again.
Hey man, if
You know I
anybody
gotta
needs
catch
some
my brother
one-on-one
up.
sessions with your boy, man, come holler at your boy.
Oh,
I'm doing
please get your one-on-one consultation
$50
with
an hour.
Mr. Z. Let him save your life. Let him save you from these niggas.
I'm saving everybody.
Like
You know, I can't be
$25
saved.
for a one-on-one counseling.
I'm saving everybody.
Yes.
You know, I can't be saved, man. Saving everybody. I can't be saved.
Nah,
so
he can be saved. My brother's
He
gonna
can
be
be saved.
saved. He gotta
can be
meet the
saved.
one when he gonna drop his delivery on the chick and she really gonna receive it right. It's okay. He just listen, my brother is paying his karma up front. He ain't about to fucking do that shit in the long front.
Yep.
Nah, I pay my shit up front too, bro. I'm about to get the dharma like a motherfucker.
Oh my god. Oh dear.
I'm paying my karma up front with these fucking niggas. Look, I'm a front my karma up front. No, I'm just gonna deal with y'all dickheads up front. And then I'm gonna go on to the great.
I'm gonna just deal with it up front, man.
I'm gonna take my karma up front. I'm cool.
It is
Because
what
I'm
it
about to
is,
go
man.
hard.
Take it to the chin, bro. I swear to God.
Okay, because my dharma coming, baby. That dharma about to come so smooth. Y'all be mad as fuck when this dharma come on me and my bro.
I'm boxing heavyweight champ, man. I take it to the chin, bro.
Okay. We be smacking the shit out of karma. We on flight
right now. I'm right back.
Straight like that. No, but for real though, like, no,
so
I believe it. I believe all of us gonna meet our divine partners because we fight too much hard for this. And we fight too much to heal the community of it.
True.
So it's only, of course, that the God body vessels that we are, we definitely gonna have to show examples.
As long as y'all got it, I'm good. I ain't tripping on.
You gonna get it though. Want me to tell you why? Because guess what? I only pray for that for y'all, just like I pray for what I want for myself. I pray for that for my brothers and sisters.
I appreciate that.
And not mine. I want y'all to have yours. Not my version, y'all version. Of success and happiness.
For real. And I think
so God, I know y'all gonna have it.
And that right there is the definition of unconditional love. If people don't understand that.
Oh yeah, I did just.
If y'all don't even notice what just happened, if y'all don't even notice what just happened, we just sat here, went back and forth about trying to give each other more, who deserves more love in finding a person in situation. If y'all just didn't hear that, like literally, she's telling me, "Oh yeah, I want him to go." I'm literally telling her back, "Nah, you got it." Like I'd rather you go find it than me. No, you need to go. No, you need to go. Like that's unconditional love. So it's not that you can't have it, and even with that unconditional,
that was love, really unconditional.
It came with conditions because we had to start off on conditions in order to find unconditional love. So where we understand, regardless of whatever's going on, our conditions are going to be taken care of no matter what. As I know, okay, shorty got me on this X, Y, and Z. I got her on A, B, and C. I need A, B, and C. She got X, Y. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's why I said, okay, when people say, okay, unconditional love isn't real. It's not real if you don't understand the conditions of love first.
Drop that juice.
That's my thing, right? You don't understand. If you don't understand the conditions of your love first, it will never be unconditional. Because the person who's going, you want person. If you don't understand that you need X, Y, and Z done for you to do A, B, and C, you'll never get there. You'll be wondering. You'll be trying to figure out all the other alphabets in the freaking. You confused. You trying to figure out all this, and you don't understand. Okay, I really don't need all this. Like this is all just extra.
I don't even need none of that.
All I needed was the vowels A, E, I, O, U, and I'm Gucci. Like
okay,
you gave me the sometimes why. I'm happy now. I don't need nothing else.
Right. You hooked me up.
Like I said, we focus on the letters. So now all of a sudden everybody just no one understands the conditions. That's why I say if you know your conditions of your love.
No, you slid that. Which means that it's still not unconditional. But I get what you're saying because you're basically saying if you know your conditions, now you can give unconditional because your conditions are already outlined. It's
always met. Your conditions are always met for this person. Period. They're always gonna meet it. So now everything else after that is extra. That's your unconditional love is when I'm doing the extra.
Right. Straight like
So
that.
that's why I'm like, okay, conditional love can turn into unconditional love if you just, like I said, you got to understand it and can vow with the conditions of your love first, which also means what you have to do backwards. I always tell it. We always had this conversation a lot of times where Mocha or where some of my other friends who we had a conversation with, they're, I want to be with this dude because he does X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, okay, do you understand what this type of dude you're gonna have to do this, and this, right? Oh, for real? Like, wait a minute, why I gotta do? Okay, let me. Dang, like he really wanted. Yeah, that type of man you looking for gonna need you to do this, and this for him. Are you willing to do that? Well, no. Well, I don't think that's the type of man you need to be looking for. Now, all of a sudden, you starting to realize, okay, the conditions of my love, I can't even meet my own conditions of love. So that's why I say, if you understand your conditions of what your love is and what it really means and what you have to do into other people's and what it means to do for other people's, you can find unconditional love within your conditions, which they go. That's why I say you can get both of them, depending on who what you're doing. That's what we're having a giver and take conversation that we had earlier. That's where that comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
You've been quiet, Mocha. Come on, come talk to us, Mocha.
No, I'm just listening to you
think?
preach. I'm the youngest one out of the group, so I'm taking all this information in, trying to use it to my advantage, so I can basically get to where I need to be. That's all.
Well, what you tell us your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts.
Preaching. I just have to actively understand what are my conditions, and I need to write them out and actively be like, yeah, I need people to be loyal and patient with me. That's something I actively realized recently. It's going to take me time to actively feel comfortable and be vulnerable with people. And I just need people to be patient with me and understand that I'm trying to feel comfortable with you. So don't rush me to give myself. Because a lot of people have taken from me, so I don't feel comfortable giving or feel comfortable being vulnerable or being seen as what I actively feel like I'm being seen as, which is very meek and shy and very small. I envision myself as a very small person, which I am compared to the average human being, but I bring myself down when realistically I'm not that level. I just envision myself as that.
Okay. So how do you think you're gonna change that? If you or what do you think would be the best first step? Let me not say what do you think you're gonna do to change it. What would you think be your very first the very first step for you in changing that?
Actively changing my opinion of myself and actively spending time to enjoy myself. Finding things that make me feel stronger as a person. Empowering myself rather than looking for validation from other people.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's how you find unconditional love for yourself?
By spending more time with myself and actively doing things that I enjoy and like, yeah.
Hell yeah, I agree with you.
Like yesterday, I went on a nature walk, and I like being in nature.
Outlining the thing you want. I think that positive or negative, when it comes to unconditional love for yourself, you got to stop worrying about whether something's positive or negative, but worry about the outline of exactly what do you want out of something. So if you pick out what's the long-term goal of what you want out of things, you'll be able to see the bigger picture as opposed to like being able to just be stuck in the moment of, did I like this or did I like that, or is it going my way or is it not going my way? Because if you know your actual end goal, then you'll know if it's going your way at every moment. It's like
Okay. So, love, let me ask you the same question. What's your first step, or what do you think would be the first step for you finding your unconditional love for yourself?
For myself?
For yourself, one, and then the second question would be, I'm gonna wait till after you answer the first one. Or for both. Let's do both right now, and then I'll ask you.
I feel like it was similar to Mocha, like learning how to just like really accept myself. Like, and I don't know. I learned how to. I think I'm there at the point where I've totally accepted who I am. I think it would be more so setting stuff in stone more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and being comfortable with the stone I set. Like, when you spiritual or whatever, like the hardest thing to when you a spiritual person, the hardest thing for you to be like, oh, denounce Christianity. It's like little things like that. Like learning unconditional love for myself consists of me being able to like more so, yeah, I own who I am, but how do I own it if I'm not owning it to everyone else? You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it would be more so owning it on the outward plane. And finding unconditional love to me would be finding somebody that's interested in the same things that I'm interested spiritually, mentally, and financially for me. Only because I say mentally, physically, and financially and spiritually. And I say that because my spirit, where I'm going, financially is because what we can build. Mentally is because of how we can grow and do we even mind our minds align. And then physically is because can we even hang out and kick it or be intimate together? So to
Okay.
me, all relationships, my dad taught me was mental, physical, and financial. I took on and added spiritual. He would say 33 and a third. I say it's all 25%. And if not, if you don't got all that going and y'all lacking in those and you can't even get a D, I mean, I would say a B. I want an A plus relationship, really. But I need at least a B in it to rock with you. So you got at least had 20s across the board.
Okay.
And I
I
feel
think
like
you
you
go
helped
ahead.
me with that. You helped me come up with that. Like, I mean, I feel like you helped me with that because it was more so like when you said, no, you gotta let a person know if they want to fuck with you on this level, they gotta fuck with you on that level. So it was like, now you gotta figure out what level that is that
Yep.
you want. So now, as a woman, once you know what the fuck you want, don't be letting no nigga lack around you just because if that's not your nigga, go on.
Mm.
Or that's not your woman, or that's not nothing. Any man, and I tell my bros that too. Like, shit, if you know you want to get married, bro, tell that bitch you want to get married, and she ain't doing it, fuck her. And
Mm.
if she got a problem, I smack her for you. On God,
Okay.
Mm.
Like, no cap.
on God.
Take off. I'll be telling people that all the time, bro. If y'all don't align, bro, it's okay to take, especially because especially with men, they
Take
be
off.
having this issue. Which I'm gonna go back to what you said earlier because I think when it comes to unconditional love, but I want to say this part real quick. Where even with a lot of men, I be having this discussion with a lot of men where obviously the situation of them walking out of a relationship, right? Or them leaving out of a relationship is so like you hear it a lot of time. Men don't leave out of relationships a lot. Like it's
No,
very
they
rare.
don't.
It's
I
very
learned it.
long.
I didn't learn that until I learned that. Until Kevin Samuel said that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
at first, like most women, I wanted to think of how I could argue that. But then I sat back and I actually thought about it. Even the dudes that ghosted me, they all call back. All these niggas come back. So
Mm-hmm.
meaning that did they really leave you, or did you not even put the energy in the fight halfway too? Because they wasn't fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And I'm a person that takes the part that I played very easily, like in everything. So I be like, shit, them niggas never really left me.
So,
I dubbed all them.
so when it comes to them situations of like I said, men don't leave out they relate. It's hard for men. A lot of men to leave out of relationships. So it's like when men get into these type of situations like that, where I always talk to them, I'm like, bro, it's all right to leave because, especially, I feel like another part of why men don't leave out of relationships. One, usually because that's the girl. Once they pick a girl, like, okay, I'm finna be in a relationship with, they usually get rid of all the rest of their girls, right?
Right.
So they usually get rid of everybody else. Like it's like, okay, this is my one for sure. I ain't doing nothing else. Now I got to re-pick up all these girls. Nah, I ain't trying to do all that. Like I just gave them up for you. I'm gonna keep them. Or
And wait. Let me highlight this. He's
mhm.
talking about most men. When he says men do this, he is talking about most men. What we are all actually think is most men are not most men. Is the small percentage of men who are like the Pookies and Ray Rays, and you would actually think that they know they confident and they fucking around with all the bitches. No, most men literally really will dub all these other chicks for you
If he really
if he
messed with
really
you on
like you,
it, yeah,
and he ain't no Pookie or no Ray Ray.
yeah, he'll do it. He'll happily get rid of all them girls for you. Yeah, but
Yeah, if he ain't no
it be
munch.
the other part of it be where I feel like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion on this. I haven't, or my theory on it. I haven't really seen got enough evidence in it to do it, but I have enough evidence in my brain where I just need outside evidence, independent sources, type. But in my opinion, I feel like another reason why men don't leave out of relationships is because of the girl themselves. Where, prime example, I've had this where I walked out of a relationship with one girl and I swear up and down that girl talked so much crap about me to the point where it wasn't even it wasn't true. Half of it wasn't even true, but she was just going up with every story she could to make her narrative where it wasn't her fault that I left. Like, I just walked out, and I was like, bro, like that don't even make sense. Like I just cleared it from you, and you did nothing wrong. Like I just cleared it. Like I just
People got hard time problems saying they ain't shit, bro. I mean,
and that's
I
what
be
I was
trying to
going
tell
to get into
people
earlier.
the earlier you realize that you ain't shit, and I can tell you I ain't shit, we gonna be
And
better
that's
off.
what I was finna get into.
We better off. We both ain't shit.
And that's why I was finna get into what you were saying earlier, where I feel like where you said, okay, at first I was trying to understand. That's why I didn't say that. I was trying to let you say the little outlier where you was explaining it, and I was like, okay. Once you said it at the end, where it's like, okay, I understand. For me, that I have to understand myself first. Where you have to. Well, a lot of people, what people don't understand, where they say, okay, learning myself, which also means learning your faults and learning what's wrong with you, but not learning it from your own eyes, learning it from other people's eyes. That's my issue with a lot of people, where they're, oh, I'm finna learn myself and grain myself and put myself on this thing, and they don't understand that you're putting a delusional wall in front of yourself.
A lot of times, babe, bro. But in the defense of those people, which I'm not defending them, because they supposed to definitely learn from other people. A lot of them don't get the closure to learn, and a lot of them will never accept the fucking courage. Will never have the courage to accept that they ain't the fucking shit.
Then that's
that they ain't the shit.
But unfortunately, to the rest of the world, that's not their problem. That's not the world's problem that you don't understand what's wrong with you. You gotta go
that
learn
you basic as fuck.
Everybody has a problem.
That you basic as fuck, and you was only
Listen,
fearless shit.
everybody ain't. That's what I'm saying. People don't know. People don't understand that everyone's basic. Everybody ain't shit. We all got a problem.
Thank you. People be like thinking I'm crazy as fuck when I say that shit. I be like, bro, I ain't shit, and you ain't shit either, and that's like, when they have a problem. It's cool when I say I ain't shit, but when I tell you ain't shit neither, then it's a problem. No, motherfucker, you not shit.
Remember what I said earlier? That delusional wall that you done built yourself up on, and that delusional foundation of telling yourself, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a baddie, I'm this real ass thing, I'm a king, bro. Like, no, you are who you are. If you want to make yourself that, then you have to earn that. But people don't understand that. Well, you have to look. Earning that means you have to earn that from other people's eyes.
Right.
I can sit here and tell myself I'm a millionaire all day. If other people don't see I have millions in my pocket and say, okay, he's a millionaire, no matter
then
what.
Then you just talking about false narratives.
You feel me? Now I'm just saying whatever. Now I'm playing my delusion game, where people play that game where I'm gonna be delusional as heck. I'm gonna say whatever I feel to keep my self-esteem together. And instead, all you did was fake yourself out. You gave yourself a facade.
You gave yourself a facade, and the sad thing is you can't even meet your own standard.
So now when people call you out on your facade, now that's why you see it all the time. The people, especially you see, especially reality TV shows. If y'all ever seen Married at First Sight?
That's my shit,
especially the ones in England and in Australia.
That's my shit, bro.
They be going crazy. You be like, bro, you can tell the ones who.
Side note with our unconditional love, will any of us get married at first sight?
You know what's crazy? I had this conversation with my friend. With my best friend, because we be watching the show and stuff, like, especially when it first came out, and then 90 Day Fiance too. Used to watch that.
Yeah.
But, if I didn't have anything else going on, and I just
I'm down.
You know what? I would.
Look, I'm down.
I would do.
I believe in love at first sight. So
I do believe. Like, I feel like once we say I do, I feel like that's a wrap for me. Like, as in my opinion, like once I say I do, I'm finna marry you. It's a wrap. Like I'm finna do whatever it takes to keep you there. Like, in my opinion, I don't want a divorce. If I get married, there's no divorce. Like we're
what? The what?
We ain't even thinking about that. Like, if you
the horse,
that, we have a problem. Like
the horse.
I'm letting it be known ahead of time. Like, nah, we not doing none of that.
The who?
Once I put the ring on it and I say I do,
devoted. Oh, devoted. Oh.
You feel me? Like it's real. Like, but a lot of people, you see it though, where you see them type of people where they be in them the TV shows, and it was one girl who was I think her name was like Moran or something, and she had her friends and her mom at the table, and they was talking to her husband, and like basically like asking him like who he was and what type of man, and dude was like, like, oh yeah, she cool. She like, I really mess with her. I see the inner sides of her. Like, you feel me? And her friends was like, nah, she's an alpha. She's this. She's a strong, independent woman. You gotta be strong, independent if you gonna be with her. And he was like, bro, that's not her. I see right past that. And
And
she
then
was
first off, she probably wasn't. And the sad thing is, people be telling yo, how you telling her man she's strong and independent? He don't need no strong, independent bitch. She
and he
wouldn't be
looking
here
at them
married
like,
if she's strong
bro.
and independent. What the
He
fuck?
looking at them girls like, bro, I've been with her for this long time. This little minute, she hasn't gave me none of that. Like that little indicator, she gave me that. He was like, at first she was like that, and then I went through the wall and she stopped doing that. And then her mom called out. That was the crazy part. Her mom that was at the table was like, you know what's crazy? Moran or Morad, whatever her name was. She was like, it's really sad. You not, and I think a lot of girls when they say that the independent thing and they had that conversation, it's really not that. The real answer of what you're really trying to say is you're just really spoiled. And her mama said that. She was like, you're not independent, you're spoiled. You've been spoiled all your life. Everything you got, someone gave to you, including me, your daddy, your last man, everybody you knew. You was with the same type of man forever, and you've been using the same type of man, trying to be alpha and trying to out alpha a man, that the men keep doing you the same way. Now you find you a man who's really into you and trying to show you don't have to be an alpha, and you can chill out and calm yourself down. You gonna run him out of here. Because
You know
trying
what's
to prove
scary?
to your
A
friends
lot
that
of
you
women
ain't
gonna
gangster.
run their men away because they actually trying to fucking compete with this whole facade of I'm trying to be strong and shit for somebody who fucks you over in the past, but now somebody actually being nice to you, and you sitting here talking about, oh, well, I don't know, bitch. You know, either you like
Remember
this or
what
you
I said
don't.
earlier? Remember what I said earlier about the X, Y, and Z? Everybody keep trying to, if I do X, Y, and Z, you trying to do X, Y, and Z with me and trying to match me on that. And we can remember I said two givers, we both trying to compete on who better than the other. That's what I meant. Well, we're both competing. So no one wants to take, because now all of a sudden when you take it, now you're conceding to the fact that I'm taking something from you.
No, I get what you're saying. That's the negative side of it, and that's what I was agreeing. I kept saying that's the negative side of it,
that's
because I'm talking about the positive side of it, meaning that if the man is telling you I want to marry you, and you're giving him the response he wants back. Yes, baby, I want to be married too. I want to be a wife. I am a wife. That's the only listen. It's something that me and you also talked about the dude 19 Keys. What he say? A man's job is purpose in the relationship. A woman's job is love. You keep, bitch, why is you over here trying to make this man purpose? This man ain't got no purpose for you. If he don't have no purpose for you, then don't be no purpose in his life. The problem is women deal with men that actually say shit like this. You be like, well, what you want from me? Nothing. Did you hear him? Did you hear him, sis? He said nothing. He wants nothing. Nothing don't mean marriage. Nothing don't mean no house, no wife, no kid, no car, no nothing. It mean nothing.
Or sometimes he'll say, I need you to be my support, my this, that, the third. And you think that means, okay, I gotta beat him at his game. And you hear
I need to be in support. That means that nigga want me to pay his rent. No,
you feel me? And you hear
He's
a lot
in
of
support,
times where
meaning that he wants you to be like, wake him up at 9 o'clock because he gotta go to work.
That's what that's support. But you hear it a lot of times where you hear, especially where it comes to these conversations with men and women, where okay, I need to make sure I got money on me, because Caleb said this before too, where I need to make sure I got money on me just in case if I need it, or if it's something goes down, I can take care of myself. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but you're already jumping into it with a foot out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, where you okay, right. I'm here, but I'm making sure, like,
right. And really your response is supposed to be shit like, well, before you ask anybody for anything, you're supposed to come inside the house with it, because if you're telling me to stack my money, then that's our money.
That's our money.
That's our money. That's the money.
Hear it all the time
that's
too.
Invitation and shit.
You hear it all the time too these days, where you hear it. Okay, a man, if a man and a girl are together, that man's money is our money. Her money is her money.
That's fucking retarded to me, because I you know, bro, I never heard that until I grew up. in my
It's
family,
crazy.
and you know, my family predominantly male. My family is predominantly male. I ain't never met one married woman in my family who thought that her money was not her husband's money. That bitch, listen, man. In my family, the women don't even get to keep. Most of the women that's married to my uncles and shit never even kept their check. So I be looking at women like, who was even like, who was your stepdad and who was your mom and all of them who you grew up with? Because first off, all the money in the house is all the money is the house's money. Meaning it's his money and your money. So if all his shit is, if what's mine is mine, if what's mine is yours, yours is mine. And it ain't no way around that. And anytime you dealing with somebody as a man or a woman and you choosing to deal in that situation, you not pushing yourself to the next level. For real. And you know, brother, you better not let no girl ever let me hear her say that. She gonna be sitting in the fucking holly. I'm gonna sit that bitch by the pool.
Me? You'll say that to me.
That bitch better not never say that to you.
To me? Nah.
Talking about she ain't got nothing for you. What you mean, bitch? I'm about to take you to the store now. You gonna buy him a t-shirt or sock.
You ain't gotta do none of that. It's all right. You go ahead out the door.
Right. Right.
Lock that door right behind you.
Exit. Stage left.
No, we ain't doing that. That's why I said, and that be the part of where everyone has, especially when it comes to men, you hear it a lot of time where men have. That's why a lot of men have a lot of issues when it comes to women these days, where it's a lot of conditions where it comes to men, right?
Yeah.
Women want to be unconditionally loved. Well, I should be able, especially unconditionally loved and unresponsible about it.
No.
Well, I don't have to be responsible about your heart if I do something. It's not my fault. It's yours.
No, hell no.
It's like, how can we be if you're not even responsible or liable for what you do? Then why am I here with you? If I gotta unconditionally give to you, you hear Chris Rock said this in one of his specials a couple years ago, where he said only people who gets unconditional love are women, children, and animals.
Whoa, remember I heard that.
Right, and he's like, women, children, and animals are the only ones that get unconditional love. Men only get love on the condition that they are providing something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and it'd be sad. That's why I'll be hearing a lot of times, well, not y'all, but when people be bringing up, oh, men's mental health, it's like, all right, well, here come men come out of nowhere, start telling y'all they mental health. What you doing? You need to be doing something. You don't need to be sitting here. You like, you just sat here and said you cared about his mental health.
Yep.
When all of a sudden, when he telling you his mental health, you don't want to hear.
Right.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you caused part of that mental health problem. You straight up caused.
Yeah, when you got a problem, we got to stop the whole world because you got a problem. Like everything got to stop. We got to stop work, stop money. The car better not move. Everybody better pause.
We gotta do better at loving the people that love us, and that's just that fucking simple. Because it ain't no way. We gotta really do better at loving the people that love us. Because as a woman with all brothers, I'm so despise some of you women who do that stuff to men because it's just not fair. And men, please pick better women because let the nice girl win. Because these girls don't love y'all. They really is burdened and hurt. They hurt and they sharing it on you. And even worse, they using past male energy on you. And you not even comparing her to the old bitch.
Okay.
That shit makes me disgusted. Don't do that. That's not cool.
See, now y'all made this. So
I like the girls that say, I'm about to spoil you. I'm trying to spoil my man like he's spoiling me. Come on, sis. Be that. Be her. Be her.
You about to make this even longer.
If both y'all winning, then ain't nobody losing.
You done brought up the vexing part, so now it's like, all right, you done. Because I feel like, yeah, men. I definitely agree with that. Where I feel like men need to. It's not just that men need to vex harder. I feel like men need to just be straightforward about it at the same time as vexing harder. Because I feel like a lot of times where men will get I feel like both sides will get with the wrong person. You feel what I'm saying? That's where a lot of the toxicity come in, because they'll get where you'll get a man who's like just trying to sleep and just trying to have relations right now for the night will get with the girl who's trying to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then they'll get together and have a fun time, and out of nowhere, one's hurt, the other ones have living their best life. And all of a sudden, you all messed up, right? And I feel like,
and it's because no one listened. to what exactly everyone was telling them because they probably had a clear, clean conversation. Most of the time in these situations is no lie. And I'm going to sit here and be the first woman to stand up and say, hey, I literally have dated men and literally thought I was in full-blown relationships with men that did not want that. And I heard them say it. And I literally decoyed and made myself think that they wanted more. You cannot make relationships up in your head. Women do it all the time. It's a delusional thing. You cannot think a man wants something that he does not want. And guess what? It's okay that someone does not want you. You should value yourself enough to move on to the next person. Because guess what? When you keep pushing out love and you're willing to push out love, love is definitely coming back to you. Because you're actually in the cycle of love. The person that you were loving on was not.
Facts. Facts, definitely. Even women, I've definitely seen men do that too, where they mess with females where she just trying to have a good night. He out of nowhere want to have a good night, ends up falling in love with her. Now he want to take her eye. She like, bro, no, like I'm not on that. And people don't be you right. People don't listen to each other. I feel like sometimes people don't really give it out as much either, where they're trying to because what a lot of men don't want to have happen is when a bunch of women start labeling you as a fuckboy. Because once they start saying, okay, he a fuckboy and the word and it start getting around, you can't get nobody now. Because now everybody can look at you and be like, nah, he finna play with me. I'm not finna, he what you want, I don't want to mess with you. So now all of a
Bro,
sudden,
it's sad because even though you say we going to label you as a fuckboy, which you're probably right. But guess what? Just because you a fuckboy ain't never stop you from getting no coochie. Actually, you got more by people knowing you was a fuckboy. So if that bitch want to label you as a fuck nigga, go ahead and let her label you as a fuck nigga. Because guess what? She probably don't even have a car. And you can go the next town over and meet another bitch. Okay? So fuck her and her fucking broke ass anyway. I'm just so tired of people. Listen, I had to tell somebody that, like, I'll be the fuck nigga this time. I just can't fuck with you. So listen, if you gotta be the fuck nigga, be the fuck nigga. Just have a standard for what you don't have to settle for.
I've said that before. I've definitely said that before. If I'm a fuck nigga, I'll be a fuck nigga.
I'll be a fuck nigga, my nigga.
Yeah, I'll be a
fuck
fuck
you.
Nigga.
Matter of fact, motherfuck you.
If I ain't shit, you right. I said that before too. You right.
You okay?
Yeah, I agree with that. So it's just, yeah, like it's very hard. People be trying to do too much, trying to keep a relationship going, and it's like, bro, like sometimes you just gotta understand if it work out, it's gonna work. Like you have to make it work where conditions. That's why, like y'all said, unconditional love is it real? Y'all just sold us it's not real. Like I said, it can
and
be
guess
real.
what? And you just elaborated us on the coolest fact that it is unconditional love. It's just based with conditions.
No,
so
like
I say that I love how we both came to the reality that we were both right. Because it's an oxymoron. The whole fucking statement.
Yep.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We're gonna let y'all. We're gonna have our final thoughts real quick before we get on out of here. Cause we gotta let Mocha. You ain't said nothing for like 40 minutes, man. We're gonna need you to
but we used to Mocha doing that.
Like I said, I'm just taking in the keys,
So what you took in? What you taking in?
Love is based on unconditional love is based on conditions, and it's so ironic that Saul said this yesterday to me while I was on the Instagram Live. If y'all didn't know, we do Instagram Live every Monday. But the fact that you have to actively know your conditions before you can actively give someone unconditional love. You have to know yourself and be aware of yourself to love somebody unconditionally.
Yes, sister.
You can love somebody. However, if they're not wanting to love you in the same level that you want to be giving them love,
kill that. Clean up on that aisle 6 with that word. The level.
Yep. You got to be on that level. And I have to be aware of, I ain't shit. I know I ain't shit. I always say I ain't shit.
You missed the
but
part.
I have to be aware of.
You missed the main purpose part, though.
I gotta.
baby, don't never forget. Don't forget the most important part. When you say that, they ain't shit either.
They ain't shit either.
Don't never
But
say
if I
you ain't
wanna
shit
be
without
shit,
acknowledging
I
the fact
gotta
that they ain't shit either.
act shit. I gotta put in the effort to be the shit.
Well, that wasn't the part I was talking about, but yeah, that was part. That was one of the parts, but that wasn't the part I was talking about.
Get it to us, brother.
The level part where you say we got to be on the same level. You got to also remember being on the same level doesn't mean we doing the same thing.
Nope.
No, I'm very aware.
Being
I'm
on the
not
same
gonna
level
lie,
means that we
because-
can make things that mean being on the same level means like a puzzle. Meaning we can
Mhm.
make shit work. We make these things work.
We ain't the same puzzle piece, but we can fit it.
Think
Right.
about it, like it's a mountain, right? You got
We know
when
our
you
place.
go to a mountain, you have a peak. You got
Mhm.
two sides of the peak.
Right.
One side might be rigged and have all the extra rocks. One side might have a bunch of grass and might have all the extra pathways and trailways. Both of them still get to the top of the mountain. But
Period.
both of them don't do the same things.
Not at all.
One got to do more. One's doing more hardship and more, which is not necessarily saying
Look, one's
both of
usually
them
the
have
longer,
hardship.
one usually the longer walk, but with the smoother process. The other one is a more is a shorter walk, but is way steeper. And that's just how we
More
go to get up a
dangerous.
mountain.
It's more crazy. It's more stuff
Right.
you got to deal with. Both of them got monsters. One monster's just more crazy than the other. They're still equal.
It's both got a
still
monster at the top, right? Both got a monster
still
at
equal
the
to
top.
the top, but they're not the same. You feel what I'm saying? Well, that's why I say you gotta just look at it like that. Like I said, we on the same level, but our how we got here is important because how we got
love
here.
that. I love that you even said we on the same level because I like to tell men. I like to say when men say be like, "Oh, you're a strong woman," I be like, "Whoa, we even." And if you think I'm a strong woman, first off, that I would tell a man first. I say, don't ever say that. We're not even, because that's like saying I don't know my place. But then I would go further on to say, and if you ever had to say that, then say we even. But don't never tell me that I'm stronger than you.
You know what I would want you to say, love, to make
Tell
him,
me, bro.
to give him that sense of okay, she really support me and everything like that. When he give you that, because that's him just trying to show you love of who you are as and what you've been doing. You know,
Please teach me.
You're a strong woman. You look at him, especially if he really that type of man where he leading you and putting you in and being that for you. You
Right.
tell him, I'm only a strong woman because you're a stronger man.
Period. That's true.
I wouldn't be this strong of a woman if you wasn't this strong of a man.
Straight up. All right,
And then
thank
vice
you.
versa. If you know what, you a strong man. I wouldn't be this strong of a man if you wasn't such of a strong woman. I'll be telling people all the time, the fact that you deal with me makes you more better than anybody else around here. I can care less about anything else.
Straight up.
Deal with me and all my BS. I gotta give you that respect. I will never show you that disrespect and say, okay, nah, I don't mess.
I just told a man recently that he's more manly to me because the fact that he knows what he wants, as opposed to men who don't know what they want. They want to be confused, or let's be friends, let's do this, let's do that, let's do XYZ, or I don't want nothing. Like, to me, a man knows what he wants because a man has purpose. So to me, that makes a man more of a man to me. A man who knows what he wants, whether and that's even if he don't want nothing.
You just gotta be willing to stand in it.
You gotta be willing to stand on it and not accept more than what you don't want. You ain't supposed to take no than that.
No,
you already know you ain't want that.
Yeah, give him that affirm,
But I got that one.
Especially if he really like that
Locked
man for
in,
you.
bro.
Don't just get that. And I will say this, and I want to say this all to women and people in general, or women in general. And I want y'all to hear this. As a man, when men bring up that word about submission, okay, please do not allow men to tell you that you need to be submissive to every man. That is a fucking lie.
They never want you to submit to every man.
Said. And I feel like, and I hear it sometimes people be thinking that it's not that. What we're telling you is being submissive to the man that you want to be with.
Right.
Because everybody a lot of times when you hear these conversations, there's in conversations of talking where where one side be talking about the man
Whoa,
you
whoa,
want to
whoa,
be with,
bro,
and the
bro, bro,
other
bro.
side's talking
Let's
about
do
the man
something
who
else
they
too.
dislike.
Let's do something else too. Let's talk about the men that's in your life. And then is another level of submission that you would even further do to the man you with. You're not supposed to be being submissive to the dude at the corner store. You're supposed to
This is
be,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
like that's like me and you. Like sometimes me and you, yeah, of course we're not gonna submit to you just like that or whatever. But we like got a brother-sister relationship. So at the end of the day, I'm always gonna hear your whole fucking opinion. Whether you mad or not. You know what I mean? Whether we mad or not. So that's just a level of submission that I'm willing to do, whereas though I would not give that to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a level of things like don't think that everybody, you ain't gotta submit to nobody really, but if you choose, if the right thing to do is definitely to submit to the people
You
you
make
want
the
in your
choice.
life.
You're making the choice of who you
Thank you.
submit to. Now, and I feel like understanding
You
that
should be rewarded for that.
submission and being feminine is not in the same category, as in they're not the same thing. Okay, you can be submit. They go hand in hand. Where you need, in order to be feminine, you have to have submission, but you don't have to be. A lot of times, you hear people be like, "Oh well, if I'm submissive, then that means I have to be completely giving away everything I got going on." No, you don't. That's not what that means. That's not what that means at all. That just means that you're willing to do it.
That's
You're
just
wanting to do it. That's what that means. And again, but you make the choice of who you want to do it with. You don't just have to do it with. That's why I hate hearing that stuff. Well, oh, you just want me to be submissive to every man. No, you
better
do not.
not. You better not be, or you won't be my woman. You'll be his woman.
He will leave. Your man will leave doing
Your
that.
man is gonna leave you.
He will clear it. Once he finds out
Nice.
that, don't do that. Like, no, submission and men submit just as much as women do.
And he really
But
gonna leave
nobody
you if
takes
he
you
find
out.
out that you wasn't even and you didn't submit to him in a way that you being so submissive to everybody else.
That's not submission no more. That's really just you just giving it out. So it's like, all right.
Yo, people mistake submission for naive.
Yep, definitely agree with that.
Cause they'd be like, submission, they just automatically, like you said, they automatically assume they give everything away. No, that's just naive. Submission is, oh, I know this person fuck with me like that. I fuck with them like that.
I agree with I agree with what they doing. I agree with their mental, their leadership. I'm going to, if it
mental,
comes down to
physical,
it,
financial, spiritual.
I support whatever he his choice is doing. I support it because you know what? They have my best interest at heart. That's why I say a lot of times people, when you hear that conversation, one side be talking about it as if it's someone that you're wanting to be with, while the other side is talking about it as if this is someone who I have leverage over. And it's like, no, this is really.
Wait. What do you mean by leverage over? I like
as that. In I'm a lot of people, especially when it comes to females, when they had this conversation, they're talking as that this is somebody they don't like. As in, this is someone I don't want to be. I'm choosing to be in a relationship with him because he does X, Y. You hear it all the time. I'm only gonna be submissive if he makes $100K, does this. I can go out to eat whenever I feel like. I can go shopping as I please. Is that he gotta meet all these things for you to do it. So now you're like, okay, and then that's when I'll be submissive. That's you're trying to basically say this is someone you dislike.
No, you should be submissive because you chose him too.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not these women be submissive, like they be submissive to the wrong people, and then it don't even be, and that's conditional. Now see, when we talking about unconditional love, we was actually talking about a real romantic thing. We talking about people who have just conditions. These are just conditional ass people, meaning that in the condition that you fucking pay my bills, you get my hair, well, you pay the bills that way, and get my hair done and take care of me. Then in that
I'll allow you to be in my presence for a little bit.
I'll allow you to be in my presence whenever you want to be, just for the fact that you doing this.
Not what you ever want to be. When I decide, when I got time, only
that's
when
true.
I got time. If I ain't got no time, you can't come. Just keep sending me this or keep doing this. And you be like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't conditional. This isn't love. This isn't a relationship. This is just more of a situation. Now, I feel like I will say this: if you start off like that, that's kind of. I said this earlier too about somebody who he was having a situation with his girl, but he was like, bro, my girl keep asking me for bread, this and the third, but like, dang, bro, like she keep asking me how much money I make every month, this and the third, like she trying to get my finances. I'm like, bro, you just asked her to marry you like a couple weeks ago. Like, You started off when you first met her was sending her bread and doing everything and putting money in her pocket. Now that
We
she
need to
living
talk
with
about finances next week. Let's talk about finances
you,
and
do that.
sharing, because I think that's a big topic in relationships that we really never, especially in the poor community, meaning that everybody that's under middle class. So in the lower communities or whatever, meaning under 50 something thousand a year. So with that being said, we all go through the people who go through financial issues or whatever, that comes the biggest deterrent with love instead of us. And we already know what classes we're in. So why aren't we striving to put our class at least in middle class before we actually worry about finances? Before we be arguing with one person over finances.
I think we just need it's the understanding of finances because, like I said, a lot of times people have a very delusional way of thinking of love, where everyone expects it, especially when it comes to the opposite sex. You have men want their girl to be this, while the certain type of woman, while women want their man to be this type of man. And there's only a certain amount of number of those type of men and type of women. So it's like you really you count yourself out, and half of the time or majority of the time you're not even in a part of that demographic of man or woman. So now all of a sudden you just like, bruh, what do you own? But dude was like I said with the story where dude was really just really adamant about that, and he was like, bro, I want my, like she just keep asking. I'm like, bro, you started off sending her money, right? Whenever she wanted. She now lives with you. You now mad at her that she's asking about your money. You just asked her about marriage, so she's gonna have to know about your finances. But you sitting here telling her, well, the bills are being taken care of, so why you worried about it? But you just complained about her going to the shop and going to go buy stuff for her, buy clothes and stuff. And I'm like, bro, how you got her, and I want people to hear me when I say this, how you got somebody
That's how you
is
keep
how you either gonna lose them or how you gonna keep them. I'm gonna say it
it,
again. How you got somebody is either how you gonna lose them
or
or
how
how
you
you
gonna
gonna
keep.
keep them. So if you can't start off by giving this girl money and then be mad that she keep having a handout like the Grove sisters and telling
Straight
you
up.
pay her. You've been paying her this whole time. Like all of a sudden you now you
You
don't want to
paid
pay.
in. You bought your way in.
Only person who can say you don't got to pay no more is her. So how you gonna sit here and tell? No, I don't want to pay no more. I feel like you should.
Well,
All
how
right.
much was the quota?
So when the next person come in paying and taking her time, hey bro, what you? She paying me, or this girl over here taking. Remember when I needed you to do X, Y, and Z for me? I need you to support me and do this at the third. You couldn't do it. She can.
I got a question real quick. Do you think that the man, being as though he paying, I think men should establish. Do you think that men should establish their finances of what they're going to pay in the relationship head on, and then also that way they can allow the one, that way they should that way they can allow themselves to be more subject to that, or state whether they want their woman, like, I mean, some men be like, all right, well, I'm gonna pay the bills, you you do this. Or some men be like, well, we're going to split this 50-50 down the middle. You know what I'm saying? But these conversations aren't being had. So now it's like he's having a conversation with you when he really need to be having a conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mocha was talking
I
about how
feel like
he's
this
scared
was
to say something to the
I feel
person.
like that it's a conversation that needs to be held at a certain time. Where if you,
After a
like
while,
I say, if you talking about marriage and if you're talking about moving in together and living in the same household and this, that, yeah, you got to have that conversation. Because it's like, all right, especially it depends on your finances. So if you don't have that type of finance the way you just can't not, you need someone to blow in. Like, well, you need to tell her that because you finna have this person living in your household. That's another mouth to feed. That's another person you got to take in. You gonna have to deal with that. And if you don't tell her nothing, especially with a lot of people, not even just her, people in general, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. See it all the time. So it's like, bro, if you really not finna tell this person or this person, hey yo, let me not do this. Let me make sure this is what I need from you, and this is what I'm expecting on your like what's your finances? How are you looking? Like that's conversations that you have ahead of time. Where especially if you talking about if y'all both have an understanding that we're trying to one day might be in a relationship to where it's serious, then yes, you had that conversation. But if you're not trying to be together like that, then no, I wouldn't talk to you about my finance. That's none of your business.
Right.
That's none of your business what I got going on. But
But
if
I'm
we
talking about the people that are in those, like I'm talking about, like, say a scenario like his. Don't you think that
Yeah,
having
they
a
should have had a
conversation.
conversation a long time ago.
They should have had a long conversation
They should have
about
had a conversation a long time ago.
where both finances were going to be going.
And the
And
crazy
what,
part was, she not even from over here. She moved from Colombia to come over here.
yeah.
So you got this girl moving from her country to come over there. So I'm like, bro, you off rip. She got it. She gonna need you, bro. So what you doing? Oh, well, I just feel like she just asking for too much. Well, I'm like, bro, you brought her into this like this. You can't be mad now that now that you in the thick of it, it's not working out for you the way how you expected it to. Like, no, that's not how that works. If you didn't want this, you shouldn't have did it. You knew your chance. That's why we also always tell people, like, bro, I sympathize with people, but I don't empathize with it. Like,
Me too.
I sympathize with you. I get it. I understand why you did it, but you did it. Like, you gonna have to take whatever come with you doing it or not doing it.
Yeah, because you took a L.
You're like, you're gonna have to do something, bro. I can't.
Why you like you gonna have to hit this problem head on? Well, since you ain't hit it head on, you gonna have to hit this now.
Because guess what? Guess who can only answer about the situations you dealing with?
Mm-hmm. And the only reason you having a fearful conversation is because you're afraid that it might stop based off of what you won't do. Because of what you started on. That's why it's safer for people to have safer conversations. Like, that's crazy. Finances is a big problem.
You want to talk about finances, religion, all that. Like, you need to know
whose
religion's gonna be.
You heard what I said. My dad always told me spiritually, mental.
When you said that, I definitely agree with
financial.
that.
My dad said mental, physical, financial. It's like mentally, where are we going?
Yep, I agree
physically,
with that.
Do we even have sex right? Do we even hang out? Are you even cool? Financially, what's in your bag? Because if I'm putting what you bring into the table, because if I put too much stuff on my side of the table, it's going to eventually fall in my lap. If nothing's on your side, we can't balance the table. This only a 3-leg table because it's 2 of us and we can bring out a child, so it's only a 3-leg table. How we gonna balance it?
I agree with that. Yeah, I would definitely say the same thing. When I always tell that, even when I even say that when it comes to women when I say pregnancy, right? Because it's like, okay, you getting pregnant by this dude who's not mentally stable, financially stable, physically stable, emotionally stable, health ain't right. He ain't trying to do nothing. And you, you know what? I want this baby so bad. It's like, you don't even understand you not even right.
Yeah.
And you don't even understand the situation you about to put your child in, because now all of a sudden you selfishly thinking about it. Now all of a sudden, when your child is now looking at you like, "Mama, why you put me in this situation?" That's why, and even to this day, that's what be killing me. Where I'll be seeing a couple of these millennials now, where they're starting to sue their parents and this and the third. I didn't want to be here, so I'm suing you, mom.
That's weird.
Some people winning. One lady won against her doctor, where she was like, the doctor forced her to be born. And she didn't want it. She never had a choice in her being born. So she sued the doctor, won. And I was like, huh? But then I understand with it, where it's like, okay, the situations behind it, where it'd be like, okay, I bring a child into this world, knowing that I'm in a situation where I'm about to put him statistically in a disadvantage, mentally in a disadvantage, physically in a disadvantage, because especially if you're in a single parent household or in a lot of people these days are in a single mother household, where you're in a statistically disadvantaged in all aspects of the situation.
And shout out to the single dads too, because there's a lot of single dads out there. So I gotta definitely shout out them, because my brother's a single dad.
So it'd be crazy, like, where it's like, okay, I'm finna do this for my own personal gain. And then when you realize that your own personal gain does not mean anything to the people outside your personal gain, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, forget you. Like, you like, all right, bam. That's why I always ask the question about when I brought up earlier about the man cheating and women will leave out their relationships. And I'm like, okay, especially you got a kid, like, now all of a sudden you willing to leave out this situation and destroy your kid and this chance, because especially me, I've been through it where my parents had to divorce and everything. That destroyed me, bro. For a long period of time in my childhood, I had a problem. I was beefing with everybody. I did not care. anybody said anything to me, we had a problem. I didn't trust my dad. I ain't trust my mama. I ain't trust nobody around me.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where when I grew older and I started realizing that, okay, I started listening to their stories and talking to them. I'm like, okay, I hear the truth in this part. I hear the false in this part. I hear the truth in this. I hear the. Now all of a sudden I started making my own thing about it. Now all of a sudden I can come back and come out, okay, mama, this is what I understand from the situation. I don't agree with this, there. Oh, well, you know what? Now all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, you don't understand what you're thinking of is so much about what you've done and what it was doing for you. You don't understand what you did to me in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And of course I'm sitting there trying to tell, I had a conversation with him. I'm like, but y'all don't understand how y'all traumatized me or traumatized us to a point where it's like, dang, people don't want to. I don't like people. Like I really don't enjoy people. Like it depends on, it got to be a certain group of people who are really in my circle. Other than that, I don't really care, bro. Like I'm cool. I'll talk to you, but I don't care for people. So it's like, all right, it just made people, it made me see things differently. So I feel like a lot of people just don't understand that, where it comes, especially when it comes into children and marriage and everything like that, where it's a different ball game, man. Like I can see if y'all just in a relationship dating and y'all ain't got no kids, hey bro, you can't deal with this man for doing, or you can't deal with shorty for doing this X, Y, and Z. Do what you gotta do. But when you got kids and y'all talking about married, y'all married too, and hey fam, listen, y'all might have to rethink that.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid you dip out of these kids and these kids come back later down the line and they hate the crap out you. They hate you, and they doing the same things you doing. Now you mad. Why you doing that? Why you messing with this this and the third? Mama, you did it. Daddy, you did it. Why not? That's the game, man. Unfortunately, that's the game. But hey, man, we've been here for like what 1:30, an hour 30 minutes, man. Almost an hour 40.
Yeah, we definitely gave y'all a conversation tonight, and it was
Oh yeah, it
definitely
was
a
lit.
good one. I
It's
really
been good.
enjoyed the conversation. I'm sorry I kept going in and out. My phone died on everybody. But I'm on vacation right now, visiting my mom, so just
You
doing some
said the
family
parts
stuff.
that we needed, man. That's all we needed. We said the parts that we needed. But yeah, man, we gonna go ahead and call it that, because I got a feeling that phone call is gonna come from them, and it's gonna be a whole nother talk. That's just
Yes, because I'm ready to talk about next week conversation about finances. That is gonna be
Yes.
crazy.
I can
I feel
see
like
it's a
finances,
whole.
relationship. I
Give
don't know
me
how
the
we're gonna name it
finance
yet, but we're
information.
gonna definitely talk about finances. Like we definitely might need to talk about finances in a relationship, finances alone, like whether budgeting, all that stuff, and finances on where you want to go.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. Be one of the topics, baby. We'll do that. We'll do one of the topics. Get all the other ones in there too. Some music
Let's get
stuff
to the
in there.
bag.
But yeah, we'll definitely do that. Go ahead and give you guys
Well,
y'all
wait a minute, wait
your
a minute.
thoughts.
Just on the music side of things, what's one of your favorite love songs?
I'm gonna let y'all answer that. I don't know how. I don't think I have a.
I mean, just for unconditional love, just for the topic, just because we music heads over here.
If I had to say anything that was, I mean, again, we don't believe in unconditional love, so it's kind of hard to say that. But
Well, if in our condition, let's give us a good one.
if I had to say a song that I would probably say would be the best, like to where it's that for me, um, it would have to be Bobby Brown. I was listening to it earlier too. Bobby Brown, Ronnie. If
Running.
you listen to that one will tell you about it, like the unconditional love between a man and the unconditional want. I'm sorry, the want of unconditional love between a man and a woman.
Okay. What's yours, Mocha?
I'm
I
trying
got
to
good.
think of the name, but it's by Alicia Keys. I think it's
I already know what song you talk about.
Well, some people want it all.
Yep,
You got it.
I
Yep,
knew it.
that's right. And
or
mine's is
that or the best part.
okay. Mine's is Jill Scott. You love me. It's special. Because that's about unconditional love and the conditions of love, you know what I mean? And saying it like and talking about the parts of why you really, why a woman loves a man and why she loves him and why he loves her.
That's a wonderful song.
I need to get that Angie Stone brother, man. Angie Stone. The Angie Stone brother.
Brown brother. You so funny.
I ain't heard one of them songs in so long. Every time I hear that song, it made me tear up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
That shit is dope.
It
All
made me
right, you
tear up.
guys. Thanks for checking in with us at DieTyeRadio. I am
Mm-hmm.
Combat Pretty. Please follow me and follow all of us.
Oh, I know that cough. I know where that came from.
Yeah.
I know where that cough came from. Go ahead,
Yep,
Mo. I'm
like
sorry.
her for more content on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram. But you can follow me on Instagram at Mocha Badu.
And, you know, you can follow me at ZHU and then O_. This has been probably one of the most chill ones that we had in a long time, man. Usually it'd be like 6, 7 deep. We be here going crazy, but 4 deep at the most. But 4, 5 deep. But nah, man, I appreciate everybody who was here. Thank everybody who was, appreciate Kareem for putting his little comment in. Shout out to Kareem. Asking questions, anything going on, y'all. Please feel free to ask us questions, bro. We doing it again. If y'all need some one-on-ones, advice, come holler at your boy. You feel me? We doing it.
$25.
I said 50.
$25 for one-on-one
sessions. I said 50.
50 an hour. 50 to 100.
50 an hour.
One-on-one sessions.
50 an hour.
Worth your while. You got the keys to life, the keys to freaking immortality. He got it all.
Tell you, man. I appreciate y'all, man. If you got any music or anything like that you want to send to us, please feel free to send it to us on our email at DieTyeRadio@gmail.com, or you can send it to us on IG at DieTyeRadio. Again, make sure like, share, comment for us, everything, man. And I appreciate y'all. We usually have music to come, take us out, but hey, man, no music. No music.
No music. No music. No music.
No music.
He like on his
No
own.
music.
Okay.
No music.
Kill it.
That's Ukraine real quick there. All right, y'all. We out of here.
Bye.